morning, trainees. Welcome to the Salt Technical and Skills Training Institute, and I am your trainer, Danica B. Bate, for the qualifications of Bread and Pastry Production National Certificate Level 2. So, before we start, please sign the attendance sheet and affix your signature beside your name. While you are signing the attendance sheet, let me inform and discuss to you the different house rules. First, you need to wear your IDs and proper uniform. This is making sure that you are safe within the training center. Our training will Mondays to Fridays. It will start in 8 in the morning and it will be end at 5 in the afternoon. Please observe punctuality. Also, you need always bring your PPE or personal protective equipment. Okay, are you done signing your attendance sheet? So let's start with the pretest. Okay, what is the purpose of this pretest? This pretest will be a basis of what you've already know and what you've already has, and to check a prior knowledge in this qualification and to identify whether you are kinesthetic, auditory, or visual. This pretest consists of 20 items and I'll be giving you 15 minutes to finish the pretest. So you may now begin. Okay, are you done? Let's now move to the proper orientation of what CBT is. Competency-based training is a training delivery mode where trainees are given opportunities to learn in their own pace with the trainer as an integral part of the instruction. CPT or competency-based training focuses on what the learners can actually do. It also focuses on the outcomes rather than the learning process, meaning CBT is a learner-centered. Okay, so let's now move on to 10 principles of CBT delivery system. Principle 1, the training is based on curriculum developed from the competency standards. All training activities are done towards the attainment of the assessment criteria set in the CB curriculum from competency standards that developed by the industry practitioner and it promulgated by TESDA standards. Next, Principle 2, learning is competency-based or modular in structure. In this qualification, we have 141 competencies and divided into 3, the basic, common, and core. 18 in basic, 18 in common, and 105 in core. The trainee should be competent in the module currently being trained before going to other competency. Next, Principle 3, training delivery is individualized and self-paced. So, as to cater the needs of the learner, the session should have varied activities by employing different methods of training. Self-paced because your completion of the task will not be based on the performance of others. Your progress is on your own rate. Next is Principle 4. Training is based on work that must be performed. Training is always based on actual industry practices. Training should provide for a simulated work environment. Next is Principle 5. Training materials are directly related to the competency standards and the curriculum. The CBLM used during the training should conform to the competency standards. Later on, I will introduce to you the CBLM and its parts. Experiential, experience on your own. And self-paced, your completion of the task not be based on the performance of others. Next, Principle 6, assessment of learners is based in the collection of evidence of the performance of work to the industry or organizational required standards. We have here the traditional students are judged against each other, and CVT-VET, each student is assessed against the required standards. Assessment is used to test whether the trainee is able to perform the job based on required criteria in the competency standards. Traditional focuses on managing instruction, and CVT-VET focuses on managing learning. Next is entered the same time, and in the CVT-VET, various time throughout the year. And in the traditional, teacher-centered, and CVT-VET, learner-centered. So next is Principle 7. Training is based both on and off the job components. Training is done in a simulated work environment, the laboratory, and or in an actual work environment, such as training production, enterprise-based training, supervised industry training, and OJT or immersion. Next, Principle 8, the system allows recognition of prior learning or RPL. Current competencies acquired through training or work experience are recognized before training through a validation process. By this, the trainer can provide activities that match a learner level of each trainee. Upon the enrollment, you interview the trainee. By that interview, you will know the prior knowledge of the trainee. You recognize the current existing competency. Next, Principle 9, the system allows for learners to enter and exit programs at different times and levels and to receive an award for modules. Competencies attained at any point, multiple entry. Trainers do not need to wait for others to be competent before he can exit either a program or a qualification, and you can enter again in another program. You cannot allow to take a qualification at the same time, and you will be given a chance to receive an achievement of competency. And the last principle, Principle 10, approved training programs and nationally accredited. All programs should be registered to the UTPRAS or Unified Tibet Program Registration and Accreditation System. It assures that the training is quality certificate of Tibet Program Registration. So, CTPR or Certificate of Tibet Program Registration. So now let's move on to the rules and responsibilities of the trainer. First, teacher. I will instruct the underpinning knowledge, skills, and attitudes or KSA. Next, facilitator. I will facilitate learning, not spoon-feeding, but scaffolds the learning process. Next is the counselor. I will guide and gives you a pieces of advice to maximize your full potential. And also, instructional material developer. I also develop or design IMS to provide materials aligned with the CBC. Next is actor. I will demonstrate the skills and I act the performance needed to each competencies. Next is curriculum developer. I'll be the one who construct the curriculum or set of subjects needed in that training. Also, session planner. I plan the daily activities to be used on the whole training. And next is the coordinator. I will negotiate with industry for your work experience. And last, the negotiator. I will coordinate and links you with the industry and make channels. So next, let's now move to the rules and responsibilities of the trainees. First, select on what competency to start. You have the freedom to choose your preferred competency in this qualification. Next is progress in your own rate. It is not based on others but on the standards on every competency. Work and ask help with others. This is what we call peer teaching. You seek guidance and ask for the help for the other people around you. You can work independently but with minimum supervision. Decides on what competency demonstration. Freedom to choose your demonstration activity. And fifth, competes against industry standards. You need to meet the industry standards in every demonstration. Next is evaluate your own performance. I will giving you a chance to evaluate your own performance based your demonstration. How do you rate your performance from 1 to 10? Next is request to receive credits on what they know. Certificates of achievement will receive per modules. And last, move freely in the workplace. You have the right to use the equipment but with our permission. Be careful in using our equipment. So let's proceed to flow chart. When we say flow chart, this is what is happening throughout your training. As you enter the program, we administer RPL. Earlier, I give you a pretest to check your prior knowledge regarding this qualification. I also orient you about the different house rules and also the rules and responsibilities as your trainer, as you, the trainees. You can select Competency Core 1, prepare and produce bakery products. We provide materials and tools needed in our demonstration in this core competency. Later on, I will discuss the CBLM and its parts. As you can see, we have the achievement process report. The purpose of that is that you can see the competency. Let's proceed to our Learning Strategies Review Learning Package. You will self-study the CBLM. View multimedia materials. If self-study is not work, I will discuss to you the module together with multimedia materials. Use manuals. We have the common competencies. Before we proceed to our demonstration, I will teach you first how to use the equipment using our manual. Next is observe demonstration. Me as your trainer demonstrate the task that you choose and you are required to observe demonstration. Next is practice skills in workshop. Giving time for practice and receive assistance and advice coming from me. Next is you can attempt the task and your trainer. I will observe your performance after doing your demonstration. I will give you a chance to rate your own performance and evaluate your own performance. If you finish all the modules or competencies, you can undergo national assessment and you will be given a certificate of achievement and you may now exit the program. And if you only want to know the other competencies, you can exit the program or choose another qualifications. If you are not satisfactorily perform the competencies, you can go back to the first module to review again the Master of Competency. So now, let's proceed to the bread and pastry production NC2. Bread and pastry production NC2 qualifications consist of competencies that a person preparing and producing bakery or pastry products, cakes, and desserts. Bread and pastry production NC2 course structure. We have basic competencies, have 18 hours. Units of competency. First, participate in workplace communication with nominal duration of 4 hours. Next is work in a team environment, 4 hours. Third, practice career professionalism, 5 hours. And last, practice occupational health and safety procedures, 5 hours. Next is common competencies, have 18 hours. Units of competency. First, develop and update industry knowledge, 4 hours. Second, observe workplace hygiene procedures, 4 hours. Third, perform computer operations, 4 hours. Fourth, perform workplace and safety practices, 3 hours. And last, provide effective customer service, 3 hours. The next is the common competencies, have 105 hours. Units of competency. First, prepare and produce bakery products, consist of 25 hours. Next is prepare and produce pastry products, have 25 hours. Third, prepare and present gateaux, torts, and cakes, have 10 hours. Fourth, prepare and display petits fours, have 20 hours. Fifth is present desserts, have 25 hours. Next is competency-based learning materials or CBLM. Is well designed and carefully developed learning materials that give trainees detailed instructions to guide them through the learning process. So, this is the parts of a CBLM. First, the front page. The module title, qualifications, and unit of competency name and logo of school and other related information should be in the front page. Next part, second part is trainees guide on how to use the CBLM. Next is list of competencies. Next is the module content. It contains unit of competency, module title, descriptor, nominal duration, learning outcomes, and assessment criteria. Next, fifth is the learning outcomes summary. And next is learning experiences. It contains the learning activities and special instructions. So next is the instruction sheets of CBLM. First is the information sheet. It's primarily designed to deliver pertinent information needed in the attainment of a learner outcome. Next is self-checks, are sets of questions that will verify the acquisition of knowledge stated in the learning objectives. Next is the answer case, are essential feedback tools. This allows for immediate feedback. Next is the task sheet, set of instructions telling the trainee to perform a single task. Operation sheet is a set of instructions for the operation of use of particular machine or equipment. Next is the job sheet. It is a set of instructions for the performance of a job, a combination of tasks and operations needed to develop a product or performance of a service or combination of both. And last is a performance criteria checklist. This will give immediate feedback of the performance of the trainee. Next is the reason for using competency-based learning material. Learning is self-paced. Next is learning is student-centered. Third, develop learning mastery. Next is DERB is immediate feedback on achievement of learning. And next is training is well planned. So now let's proceed to the shop layout. So this is our workshop layout. Okay, so please stand up everyone and we will have a short tour in our facilities. So first, these are our contextual learning area. Next is the learning resource area where you can find books that serves as your references from your research. Next is the practical work area. Dito, kinakandak ang institutional assessment. Next is the quality control. All the finished products generated from the training are scrutinized in this area. Next is the trainer's resource area, whereas the trainers made our lesson. And this is our computer laboratory or distance learning area. And last, this is our support service area. These work tools and equipments are located which need to repair. So this is our shop layout. So after the shop layout, let's proceed to the evaluation and assessment. We have pre-test, computer-based assessment, performance test, training activity matrix, progress achievement charts, and last is trainees record book. So, this is the end of my presentation. Again, I am your trainer, Danica Bibate, for the qualifications of Bread and Pastry Production National Certificate Level 2. Good afternoon, trainees. Welcome to the Seoul Technical and Skills Training Institute. I am your trainer, Danica Bibate, this is my final demonstration for the qualification of Bread and Pastry Production National Certificate Level 2. So, here are the ingredients that needed in making banana bread. First, we have overripe bananas, egg, evaporated milk, all-purpose flour, baking soda, baking powder, brown sugar, we have butter, vanilla extract, and oil. Next is the steps and procedures in making banana bread. First, peel off the skin of banana and place it on a bowl. Mash the ripe bananas with fork or a potato masher. Second step, add 2 whole eggs, oil, and vanilla with mix well. Add dark brown sugar and mix until sugar completely melted. Third step, combine all-purpose flour, baking soda, baking powder, and salt, and sift to the banana mixture. Mix well until fully incorporated. Fourth step, transfer the banana mixture or batter to a loaf pan with parchment paper or the bottom of the pan. Tap the loaf pan 3 times to release air bubbles. Next step, place the loaf in the pan and cook it in a steamer in a low heat for 45 minutes or until done. Next step, place a toothpick in the center of the banana loaf for checking to determine whether the loaf is already fully cooked. Next step, remove the loaf from pan and let it cool for a bit. Run a knife around the edge of the bread to remove the loaf easily. Turn upside down the bread to remove it from the pan. Remove the parchment paper and turn it again. And the last step, slice the bread on your desired sizes. Serve and enjoy. This is the end of my presentation.